Sunday night here at 4-Player Network, which can only mean one thing, is that it is time for us to get drunk and talk about video games. Hey, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to Cocktail Time Live here at 4-Player Network. I'm your host, Joseph Christ, and with me tonight is Chris Davis. How you doing, Chris Davis?
I'm doing all right.
And Bob Webb. How are you, Bob?
I'm doing pretty well.
So I'm actually getting dropped frames, and I'm not sure why. So it might look like shit to people at home.
I can see myself.
Can you see yourself? Can you feel yourself?
Yeah,
So this story, it's weird. Everything was happening. Everything was fine back last cocktail time, and then I broadcasted on Wednesday, and I was having this weird dropped frames issue, and now it seems to kind of be happening again. I don't know exactly what it's from. So it probably looks like shit live to people for some strange reason. But, it's all about the audio, right?
It might be the server you're streaming to.
Oh, shit.
No, did you change that? You're probably streaming to, fucking China.
I'm probably streaming to China. That's probably what I'm doing. Well, would that be dropped frames, though?
If it's that far, yeah.
If it's the China?
Great Firewall, of course.
The Great Firewall of China. How would I fix that live? Can I? I can't, can I?
No, there is no way to fix it live.
There is no way to fix it live. I'd have to go off live for a few seconds. We'll see. Let's see how bad it is. How bad is it to the people in chat? We have people watching us live, of course, over at 4pp.tv. There is a delay, but we'll see how it's doing. It did this last week when I was talking about horrible 1993 snow pants, is what everyone's saying. It's pretty bad. It's like not moving for several seconds bad. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna stop it for 1 second, everybody. I switched to I switched to a different server, and and it's still giving me drop frames. I also lowered my bitrate a little bit. So I guess we'll see. And we were talking about rice-a-roni. And they have rice-a-roni meatballs, you said? Bob?
Apparently, someone made meatballs using rice.
Oh, okay. They made the meatballs using the rice-a-roni. I thought maybe
I'm assuming.
Okay, I thought maybe rice-a-roni came out with a meatball thing in like a little box in a packet.
That sounds awful.
It does sound awful.
It's just like it's just several pinball-sized dried pellets that come out of the box.
Right. Or like it would what would happen is it would be like this mush, and you'd have to add water to it to create like the mud-like stuff, and then it comes a little form, and you put it in the form like a little mold inside the box, and then you put that in your oven, and it makes it. I'm a genius. I should get into the food and services industry.
Sounds awful.
Rice-a-roni.
Yeah, it sounds
meatballs. You'd eat it. Chris Davis, you're from Texas. You will eat anything.
You say that, but I have taste.
Maybe you do. Maybe. I've only seen you eat at conventions when it's sort of like anything we can get our little grubby hands on. So I don't know.
I like a lot of things, but you can't convince me to eat like an Indian food or Thai or shit like that.
I can't convince you.
You cannot convince me.
What?
Wait, what?
Wait. Well, hold. You don't like Indian food?
No.
Why
Dude,
not?
what's wrong with you?
What?
Water is spicy.
Why do you have to be? Why do you have to be racist?
I'm not being racist. I'm saying that their food is hotter than fuck, and I don't want to eat hot, spicy food.
No. You can
live
get.
in Texas.
You can tell
know.
them. You can tell them how spicy I just had Pakistani food tonight, which is you don't get any more Indian than that. That's like the most Indian you could possibly get.
It's good.
On the Indian scale, there's like American Indian, and then the other end is Pakistani, and that's where I went. Extreme Indian.
Yeah, unfortunately, my favorite Indian dish is not actually Indian. It's British.
Oh, is it? Well, because they colonized.
Yeah. It's just chicken tikka masala.
That's British, is it?
Yeah.
Wait, that can't be British. It has flavor.
It's a British concoction.
Oh, I see.
Food, from what I understand.
Oh, okay.
From the Indian population that lives out there.
You know what's really good is Afghanistan food. Afghani food is really good. There's a place in Seattle that serves Afghanistan fare, and it's a lot of like yogurt creams and things like that on lamb and goat and
the yogurt helps put out the spice.
It does.
Real hot mouthful. You just dab a yogurt in there.
But I did go to get Indian food, and the water was not spicy, Chris Davis. I should have you know.
Apparently, Reborn's saying that chicken tikka masala is actually Indian.
It is eaten in India.
Surprising. Indian. I always thought it was a British concoction because it's like it's almost like a God. It's like a creamy curry.
Yes.
That's still kind of spicy and with delicious chicken.
It's like a curry, and they added those little dairy, creamer packets that you get in the diner with your coffee, and that's how they made it. But anyway, not even Thai, Mr. Chris Davis.
I lost you for like 10 seconds there. What
Oh,
did you say?
I said you don't not even like Thai food. Thai food is out for you.
Well, pad Thai really isn't Thai. In fact, it's more Chinese than anything else.
Is it? Okay. But I mean things like pad ki mao.
But traditional Thai food, no.
Like pad ki mao, which is drunken noodles, is what the Americans call it. That might be Chinese too. I don't know. It's everything's been bastardized. That it's hard to figure what's actually the real thing. Or
you
what.
say bastardized, I say punched in the face by the American dream.
Yeah, that's it too. That's it too. All right. Let's do our toast of the week. I think that's a good idea. Where is my? There it is. Okay. jeez. I don't.
I actually have a. I'm ready.
You ready?
Go.
All right. Wait a second. Let me guess. It's an indie game.
Shit.
Let's hear it, Bob. Bob, go first.
So what am I drinking? I'm drinking. I got a shirt Vodka, and I actually have a homebrew. I found a bunch of these in a box of bottles, and I had a bunch of bottles that I saved of beer that I made like years ago. And this is I haven't tried it yet, but it's an amber I made like almost 2 years ago. So I'm gonna try this out.
So your own stuff tonight is what you're doing.
My own swill.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
And my toast goes to Galactic Cafe.
Galactic Cafe.
Yes.
I know what you're toasting to then.
The developers behind the Stanley Parable.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw
Speaking
Chris
of-
playing it on the feed, and I was like, "Fuck this!" And I turned the feed off, and I played it myself.
Speaking of British colonialism.
Yeah. God, that game is funny.
Really? Okay, we'll have to talk about that. We will definitely talk about that. Chris Davis, what are you drinking, and what is your toast?
Well, tonight I have instant Kool-Aid because I'm poor right now.
You're a wild man.
I paid rent and I gotta pay off a console, so yeah, I'm kind of poor right now.
Right.
I think I shall toast. Well, Bob kind of stole it from me, so yeah, I gotta give it to Galactic Cafe as well because I had a lot of fun last night and I was quite surprised.
Okay. Well, we'll have to talk about that because I know almost nothing about. I kind of know some stuff about this game, but we'll talk about it some more. I will toast. I am going to toast to this past generation because we are 1 week away from the new consoles, from the beginning of a new console generation. And I was sitting around today in the about 3.5 minutes I had to kind of think about things myself. And I thought we had some really awesome games and experiences this past generation, partly because it was so fucking long. But it's pretty amazing stuff. And so my toast goes out to this past generation, the PS3, the Xbox 360. And what did Nintendo do this time, I guess? The Wii, I guess, right? The Wii. So that's what my toast is to. And I have some Rasputins tonight is what I'm drinking, and that's my...
Imagine that.
Imagine that. All right, so let us do it. 1 and 2 and 3. All right. So yeah, I mean it's kind of crazy. Like Friday is the day. Friday, it all starts anew.
Almost you pre-ordered your Xbox One from Target.
Oh, did you?
No.
Oh, you didn't.
They shipped out a bunch of. Was it Target? Someone.
Yeah, it
shipped
was
them out
Target.
early. Yeah, shipped out like 150 Xbox Ones early.
Oh, did they? Oh my God.
Yeah, I think the people that got that hooked their consoles up online already got banned.
Really?
Well, no, they're not banned per se. They can't access Xbox Live until launch day.
Well,
Okay.
so then an article came out not too long ago that said without the day one patch on Xbox One consoles, they pretty much can't do anything. Like they.
Yeah.
It's a mandatory day one patch. Like. They will not even play.
Same thing for the PS4, though.
Yeah, they won't even play. Well, I'm not sure the PS4, the Xbox One won't even play games out of the box unless you patch it. Like, it won't do anything. Look at Chris Davis's face. He got do anything. But maybe that's the PS4 too, as well. So, Bob, that's weird. I don't know why it's doing that.
Are you hosting the call?
No, Bob is.
I'm hosting it.
Oh.
That's why I was able to hear you, Chris, while we were talking.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're having technical difficulties. But yeah, so they won't be able to do anything with that day one patch anyway. So it's kind of no big deal. They can just look at it, for the rest of the next 2 weeks.
That's the 25th.
22nd, I believe, for the Xbox One, and the 15th for the PS4. So Friday for the PS4.
Oh wow, they're a week apart.
They're about a week apart. So.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear about the hardware problems.
I know. I am excited for no one doing anything for the first week.
Yeah.
is what I'm excited for, because I think that's pretty much what's going to happen. I think we can expect that the first week is going to be a mess.
Oh yeah.
So. But all right. So Stanley Parable.
Stanley Parable.
Tell me about this. So from what I know, it's a somewhat like an adventure game, first person, of course, based on a Half-Life 2 mod, and there's a British guy sort of narrating the whole thing in Bastion-like form. Am I way off base?
Well, this is a remake of a Half-Life 2 mod from several years back. This is like a full product, and it's basically kind of like a first-person choose-your-own-adventure.
Okay.
You're given this really base story, and you're given some choices that you can, or direction from the narrator, which you can choose to ignore or follow.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the pattern in which you make these decisions, you'll get different endings for every time you play through.
Right.
And also, every single time you play through, something usually happens to the world, like the layout of the maps change, or something will happen in the background and it's relit, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or the most common thing I ran into was I would begin the game again, and this nice clean office is now covered in just papers everywhere.
So are you actually, like, when these decisions come through, right? Is it press A to do this or press B to do that, or is it just walk in this direction rather than this other direction? Like, how do they bring those?
Well, the first direction the game gives you, you come to this room and there are two doors, and the narrator says, when Stanley came to the room with two doors, he took the door on the left. Well, you can choose to take the door on the right, and the narrator berates you for that, and it takes you down to a different path, but it gives you an option later on through another door to get back on the way the narrator was trying to take you.
I see.
And it just plays out like that. It's just branching paths that keep happening and happening and happening. And each ending is quite different from the others. It's an interesting narrative, like, exploration of an actual choose-your-own-adventure game.
I kind of like the idea.
It's kind of fun.
I kind of like the idea of sort of fighting the narration of the game, and how him sort of being a partner character in a way. You know, that's kind of an interesting take on it.
There's a lot of... The thing that struck me is that there's so much branching narrative in this game, where you may choose to go against the narrator for a while, and then decide to go with him for a little while, and then branch out another one. Tara's getting a replacement beer because my beer is bad.
Oh, so you did not like your beer?
Oh, it tastes awful.
What? See, we missed a whole plot line here. So it tastes awful.
Yeah.
What happened?
It tastes terrible.
What happened to your beer? What did you do?
I don't know. It's fucking 2 years old. Beer doesn't last that long.
Well, it was sealed. It should last that long, right?
Yeah, but it even had like oxygen. It had like these little caps, the beer caps.
Right.
There's the plastic in there is supposed to keep the beer from oxidizing, which is usually what kills beer. But it smells like stale bread.
Oh, so it's
really
like
bad.
like old yeast.
Kinda. The yeast could have autolyzed. That's one of the
Right.
big things is that could have happened. Is the yeast died and then it changed the flavor of the beer.
Right.
It's actually kind of sour.
That's
yeah.
gonna make you sick if you.
So
Keep
I'm
on.
not gonna drink that. I got Tara gave me a Sierra Nevada,
That's
which I know is gonna be fine. Ugh.
All right. So branching narratives is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
And it's completely different endings every single time. Like,
Yep.
you'll like the main story path that the game wants to take, the narrator wants to take you down is, you go into the basement of this building and it's like a mind control facility, and you turn it off and everything's happy and peachy, and then the game ends and it restarts you back in your office.
Yep.
Well, you can choose to ignore his advice and go down a hallway right next to the mind control facility, which the narrator keeps telling you is filled with certain death for Stanley. And you eventually get to the point where you can get your character killed that way. And you can just... It's all different little things. I kind of don't want to spoil it for you since you haven't played it. But
I'm not sure. Is it on Steam or is it just on?
Yeah,
okay.
It's on Steam. It's like $20.
Okay.
There's
much.
God. There's moments in this. I wanted to say like, oh, did you get to this moment? But like, I don't want to ruin it because there are references to other games in the Stanley Parable.
Oh, there are a couple amazing references.
Like it's really funny.
Yeah, it gets the one branching path has the narrator acting as the developer of the game, and he's pissed off at the direction Stanley or the player is taking with the game. And so he starts creating random rooms. And he asks the player to rate on a 1 to 5 scale his experience with that room. and then
do you actually have to punch it into
even more pissed off?
Do you actually have to punch it into the keyboard when he asks you?
No, there's like buttons on the wall, and you press them.
Okay.
And then it gets to the point where he gets so mad that he says, "Fine, you know what? You don't want to play my game? Let's put you in a different game." And he puts you in a different game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil it, but it's
I
fantastic.
was not seeing that coming. I did not see that coming. Where he puts you in the other game, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Because it is the other game. Like, I wonder how they had to license or get the permissions from the other developers to, because it looks and feels like that game.
This sounds like very much like your normal kind of crazy British comedy. You know, like very Monty Python-esque, but in a video game.
It has its moments. Yeah. There are actually some cinematics in the game that are pretty fucking funny. Mm-hmm. Like one's talking to you about cognitive dissonance and decisions that you should and should not make. Mm-hmm. And one example, and one that's actually kind of controversial right now, is he makes the example of holding a lighter and lighting somebody's cigarette is fine. Lighting orphans on fire is not. It's shit like that. It's so random, but it's so good.
So what's the I hate to say what's the point of the game, but what is the point of the game? Are you just trying to get out of a facility? Is it just
there is no point. The point is
just
to
go with the
narrative.
Just go with the narrative.
There is a story. There's kind of a story in the game where you're Stanley who works at a company pressing buttons at his desk, and
that's all you do every day of your life.
And when one day you go in there waiting for the computer to instruct you what buttons to press for how long and whatnot, and you get no instructions. And you go out and you find that all of your coworkers have disappeared.
This is
the story is you trying to figure out what happened to them.
This is very Terry Gilliam, actually. The more you tell me about it, it reminds me like a cross between Brazil and I don't know, just your basic Monty Python skit. But I'm thinking like it's very Terry Gilliam. And his brand of humor and surreality,
Yeah, absolutely. I would not be surprised if they really kind of borrowed heavily from Monty Python. Mm-hmm. I'm
a big Terry Gilliam fan. So it's
okay. He's a funny guy.
He's awesome. All right, well, cool. So how much have you guys gone through it?
I've probably played about 2 hours, and I've gotten like maybe 5 endings.
I've gotten about 7 or 8 endings, at least in my experience.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of endings.
There's only like 15 of them, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of endings, and some of the endings are long. Like you'll get to a branch, and it'll be like 30 minutes before you're done with the ending.
So so at the end of the Stanley Parable, usually have to pick red, blue, or green. Right.
That's BioWare. It's a little different.
That's how it is. Like, no.
Well, BioWare's branching narratives always converge to one point.
Yes, they do. They always, they're not branching narratives as they are small little detours.
Yes.
Than a main story, for the most part. Although the ending of Mass Effect 3 was probably the worst. So,
I was fine with it.
Chris Davis, you shut your whore mouth.
You know what? Joseph Christ? I like Mass Effect. I like the entire series.
I like Mass Effect
I'm
too.
not going to piss on Mass Effect 3 just because some people didn't like the last 2% of the game.
Listen, I also like Mass Effect. And I like Mass Effect 1, and Mass Effect 2 is my favorite. Mass Effect 3 is good too, as well. But the ending was kind of bullshit, and not a fan of the multiplayer. But I know we're different people, Mr. Chris Davis, and the
Yes,
world the world is about different people getting along.
I still got to beat Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, that's the best one.
God damn it,
the best
Bob!
I think I'm like halfway through it too.
You've got no. I am mandating to you. You have to beat the game before the end of the year.
Okay, I'm trying to start a company, so
I don't fucking care.
Gulp.
I don't fucking care. You've got until April to have a playable demo for people.
Actually, we got
Just get it over with.
We have like a week, actually. I
a
think.
week. Yeah, this Friday.
Beat it over Thanksgiving. Do that.
Okay. I thought about playing it today, then I was like, nah, I'm gonna play some more Thomas Was Alone because I need to beat that. It's a good game.
It's the indie games things, you know.
God, Thomas Was Alone is like it's doing like more and more strange things that I didn't really consider.
See, that's another game I haven't played.
It's good. It's a nice kind of puzzle.
Like
platform.
Gone Home. That's another one I really want to play. And actually,
I gotta work on that. I still haven't played anything but the beta of Papers, Please.
Oh, Papers, Please is really good. So the thing about Gone Home is, I remember a couple of weeks ago we were talking about Batman, you know, and we were talking about the shitty detective mode and how my thing was how a lot of detective modes are simply you just checking off the boxes until the game tells you the answer for the most part.
Yeah.
And Brad contacted me late at night one night, like a gentlemanly caller, and he said, you know, I heard what you said about detective modes, and I usually agree, but you should play Gone Home because it's one of the few games that does sort of a investigatory type of mechanic, but it's not just fill the check boxes. It actually, you are kind of discovering stuff throughout the game, and it kind of made me excited for it. And then I forgot, and it didn't happen. I didn't play it. So
I have so many indie games that I've yet to finish. It's ridiculous.
So this week, I actually, what did I even play? I think I played
Battlefield 4?
I played Battlefield 4, and I think that was it. Honestly. It's kind of it. Because I really only have time for, let me just play a few rounds, and that's it, and, you know, do some stuff, and you know, move on and do the things I need to do. You know, like make things on the computer, you know. But one thing I actually did play in Battlefield 4 a lot this weekend, not a lot, but more than anything else when I did play Battlefield 4 was the Commander mode. And I was
I actually played some of that tonight.
I was having a really good time playing the Commander mode. It's you know, I'll tell you, I'll start off by saying I wish there was more to it. I wish it was a little bit more in depth. I wish you could do other things because really, like, you're kind of doing the same things over and over again. They're exceptionally useful to the people on the ground, but it kind of gets a little, after about an hour, it gets a little dry. But it's actually a lot of fun. It's like playing an RTS, but with real people. And you can't really control them, but you can, like, you know, let them know where to go. So basically, as a commander, your role is to do one of a few things, and some things you can do at the same time. You can deploy UAVs over certain areas of the map. And those will really reveal all the enemy positions. It's not a huge area, which is good because you have to try to work in coordination with the squads. And if they're attacking a point, you can drop a UAV in that location so they can see the enemies or something like that. Other thing you can do is you can drop a EMP. An EMP, it has two uses. It basically blocks all visual communication between from the enemy, so they can't see your guys, and their commander can't see your guys either. The other big use of the EMP, which I figured out, I learned later after playing a bunch, and then I kind of looked up a couple of tutorials to see, like, oh, how am I supposed to actually be playing this? Is the EMP can counter the enemy's cruise missiles that their commander releases. So if their commander releases a cruise missile, you can see where that missile is going to hit, and before that missile hits, you can drop an EMP in that area, and it counters his missile, and it won't hit at all. The EMP, of course, has a really long cooldown timer on it, so you have to be careful when you use it. Things like the cruise missile, which is really cool, and the cruise missile can just destroy everything in the area. I've gotten like 7 kills at the same time from dropping a good cruise missile on a bunch of people. And it feels so good. It's like the hand of God, like oh, that'll teach you.
For some reason, I haven't figured out how to drop a cruise missile yet.
Well, here's why. So the cruise missile isn't available on every map, and the maps it is available on, you need to control the point that opens it up. So
okay.
So different points give you different things. So let's say like point, the A, there's A, B, C, and D. Point A, maybe it's just a freebie. Okay, it's nothing. They'll get it, but it doesn't really give you any extra perks. Point B, if you control it, it gives you like an entire map infantry scan. That's on a cooldown, of course. So instead of just a little UAV, you can do an entire map infantry scan, just right across the map, shows everybody for a short amount of time. And then
there's also a vehicle equivalent of that.
Exactly. That would be, let's say that's D. But C is the cruise missile, and as long as you hold point C, which is the cruise missile, you can use the cruise missile on a takedown timer. So a lot of times what I do is if I'm entering a map as commander and I know there's a cruise missile on a point, I immediately write to my team in chat, if you guys can capture point C, let's say, we'll get the cruise missile and I can drop it on some fools. So they know that, okay, well, we need to do this. So another thing the commander can do then is direct squads. So you can direct squad leaders to areas. And, say, oh, here's squad A, go for point this, or go to this location or whatever. If they take your orders and accept it, you get points. You get points for when people shoot other people while UAV is up. It's a UAV assist. You get points if somebody shoots somebody when EMP is down. That's an EMP assist.
You get points if they take a capture point that you've assigned them to.
Exactly. So all of that builds up your little like commander juice meter. And with your commander juice meter, you can do a couple of things. You can promote squads, which gives them their field upgrades faster. You can give squads rapid deploy, which does rapid deploy mean they have an instant respawn? Is that what that is, Chris Davis?
I don't know.
Okay, I think you can do that, or you can drop supplies, and you can also drop small vehicles for people. And every time they use the vehicle you dropped, you get points. Every time they use from a supply container you dropped, they get points. So it's really cool. I mean, some maps it's sort of useless, like Operation Locker. You can be commander, but all you're really doing is dropping UAVs and dropping EMPs, and it's kind of dull. But you get like a big conquest map where there's lots of land. Like if you play on Paracel Storm as commander, where it's a big map and there's lots of stuff going on. Like it's really kind of cool, and it's fun to try to keep track of everything and keep people flowing in the right way. And especially if there's another commander at the same time playing a map, and you don't have we're getting a hold on. I think Skype is. Hold on. You guys are? Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, hold on, because I can't hear you. Say something, Chris.
Testing 1 2.
Hold on. Okay, there we go. Now I can hear you. So the one issue is that when the other commander has point C and they have the cruise missile, right? They can just drop their EMP whenever they want, But me on the other side, I don't want to use it because as soon as I use it somewhere on the map and it's a long cooldown, he's going to use his fucking cruise missile because then I can't counter it, and he knows that. So I found that if the other commander has the cruise missile, I can never use my EMP. I'm just sort of like hobbled the whole time. And if you're on a map where the squads, the players on the ground just aren't really helping you out, it kind of sucks because, I have 3-4 squads ordered to go get C because I need to get my cruise missile because I'm pretty much down an entire skill, and they're just not really doing it. They're just kind of going around and getting their KD up,
Yeah, if they're just focused on whatever they want to do, they just don't want to play the fucking objective, then kind of fucked as a commander.
Yeah, I would say if you're playing Battlefield 4 and you have a commander and he gives you orders, try to follow
Fucking
him.
do it.
Because he knows, like, he's the eye in the sky. He knows what's happening, and he's trying to get something done. So definitely, definitely follow orders. But it's actually a lot of fun. And I think, I mean, it's a different kind of fun. It completely changes the game, 100%. But I kind of like what they're doing with it. And I never played very much of the Commander in Battlefield 2, so I don't really have much of a reference in how similar they are.
I barely touched Battlefield 2, so...
Yeah, I mean, I played Battlefield a ton, but I never really played the Commander mode. But I'm really enjoying it here. I would like to see them do more with it, though, and I'm not exactly... I'd have to brainstorm, but I wish the Commander had other abilities that you can kind of go into. As it is, the Commander, it doesn't really have, like, he can get ribbons and stuff, but he doesn't, like, unlock anything. He just sort of is there, and, like,
he just gets, like, dog tags.
You get dog tags. Not even dog. Yeah, you get, like, but not like popping tags off dudes, like your own, like, dog tags. And you also get, like, service stars, and that's kind of it. But I'd love to see the Commander role expanded somewhat, and have them more, do more with it. But but I did enjoy it. What was your experience, Chris?
Well, basically, I was playing the Xbox, so.
I wonder how different that is then, because that's got to be difficult. Because when I'm playing Commander mode and I'm with mouse and keyboard, of course, because I'm playing this game on the PC, I'm like clicking around all over the time constantly, because your UAV especially. It doesn't like last all that long, but it's got a really fast cooldown time. So you're like spamming that as much as you possibly can. So how is the navigation on the 360? Is it okay?
It's kind of like just move your cursor in a general direction, and it'll automatically shift to either a soldier or a point on the map.
Okay, all right.
It's okay.
Because what I mean, because since with a mouse and keyboard, it doesn't lock onto things. So I can almost like get a squad order a squad anywhere on the map, and I've gotten squads to sort of like flank enemy positions before just by clicking not on an objective, but having them clicking them on like some like ridge or something overlooking where the enemy is, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I didn't get to try it, unfortunately. I've got a tablet, and there's Xbox Smart Glass, which supposedly works with Battlefield 4, but I couldn't get it to work, and I don't know why. So I'm going to try and test that out. But it seems, at least with that interface, it seems far more touchpad friendly.
Oh, no, it totally is. It's either touchpad or like mouse and keyboard is what you kind of really need to use.
And what I was going to ask about with the cruise missile... Are you only allowed to drop it on like points or on certain enemies, or how does it work?
I can drop it anywhere I want.
Okay,
anywhere I want.
Again, I haven't played with gotten the cruise missile just yet. I've only played on maps that have the gunship.
Oh, that's right. That's another thing you can release or put down on the map is the gunship.
And I guess there's some limited like guidance for the gunship as the commander. But other than that, there's really not much you can do with it. You could spawn it, and that's about it.
Yeah, no, you spawn it, and that is it. I mean, you can't even map out its flight rotation or anything like that. You just put it on the map,
which would be awesome. In fact, I think that the next Battlefield game, they could totally redo the commander mode and allow you like fucking football level control. Like you could just draw on your tablet the direction in which you want a certain squad to take in order to flank some enemies, and that appears on the screen for that squad,
like on their mini map. Yeah, that's what I was kind of hoping they would have stuff like that, but there kind of isn't, which is unfortunate.
No,
but it is lots of fun.
Yeah, certain functionality like that I can picture like in the DLC later on, but. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just kind of light right now.
Yeah, no, I agree, but it is kind of cool how it's this whole other game kind of hidden inside of Battlefield 4 at this point.
And I wish you would get more points as a commander because you're not getting shit.
You really don't get any points at all. If you wanna get points, definitely don't be a commander because they don't. I mean, for all of your assists, your UAV or EMP assists, you'll get like 50 points, 25 points. That's kind of about it. So most of your good points come from maps that have cruise missiles and dropping cruise missiles on people. And if you're on a map that doesn't have that, it kind of, I can see. I find more maps like what is the one with the Hanoi Resort. Those usually have commanders in them, but maps like Operation Locker and maps like just other ones that don't have the cruise missile usually don't have commanders in them. So I think commanders are looking for specifically maps that have cruise missiles in them, so they can get rank up more.
I can understand that,
which is understandable.
They released, by the way, while we're thinking about two things. I guess I'll talk about this in a second. But what's your favorite weapon so far?
My favorite weapon so far, I'm not sure. I'm still sort of messing around with some of the classes. I'm primarily assault class, but I've just started grinding up the support class just so I can get the big ammo bag.
Okay.
So I wanted to get the big health bag, and now I'm trying to get the big ammo bag. And when I'm grinding just soldier classes, I just play Operation Locker, and that's it, because that's the best map for grinding those classes, because it's like Metro. It's a meat locker, so you can just throw down an ammo bag or a health bag and just sit back and just take in all the XP. It's kind of cool. But right now, I have two guns on assault that I kind of go back to. The AEK for close combat stuff, like on Operation Locker and whatnot. If I'm playing a really large conquest map where I'm going to be shooting at guys that are really far away, the M14, I think it's the second or third gun you open up, M14G or whatever. So that's what I'm playing with.
I've actually really fallen for being an engineer and using DMRs.
I haven't really used the engineer much at all.
Yeah, it kind of, how they've rebalanced it this time around is kind of interesting. I'm kind of annoyed by some things, but I'm actually quite gratified by some of the other things. But the ability to have a DMR across all my classes has been so awesome. And I just unlocked the gun I had been wanting to use the entire game, which is the M39 EBR. It's basically the equivalent of a M14.
Okay.
Single shot rifle. But apart from the issue I have with the sights being a little too big on the screen, I really like this gun. It is so good.
I hate the sights that are sort of closed sights that have like a closed top and
like the Scar H.
Oh my god! Like you zoom in, you go iron sights, and you can't see anything. It's like, oh my god!
No, you can't. You just gotta pray that you unlock a new sight fast enough.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, I haven't played much engineer. I want to, but I just usually when I do Battlefield games, it's assault first, and then I get up my support class, and then usually then it's engineer, and then I never really touch recon ever. I never touch recon. The only time I ever touch recon is if I'm running around and I'm out of ammo, and the only weapon around lying on the ground is a recon bag, and I'll pick that up. And I picked up a recon bag a couple of weeks ago, and it was on a really big conquest map, and I hunkered down in a bush, and I took out two dudes, like really, like one of those really far shots. I don't know how far it was, but it was one of those where it's like you see it arcing all the way up and then arc down and boop, and then hit the guy. And I'll tell you, I hate recon, and I hate recons. I hate snipers. I hate people who play snipers. But that was satisfying.
It's a satisfying feeling.
It was sad. It's the hang time that does it. It's the boom. Like,
the delayed satisfaction that makes it so much better.
Yeah, that is true. So
I've been playing a little bit of recon, but across all my classes except for assault, I've been using DMRs. So I kind of play it more, offensively.
Well, here's my
class.
Here's my question, real fast: is I have not yet unlocked weapons cross class yet.
What level are you?
21 or 20?
Jesus Christ! No, you must have unlocked some.
Are you sure? Because I went to be, a support, and all I had was my two first starting support guns, and I couldn't. There was nothing else in my lists.
Actually, wait. At least for the DMRs, you actually have to get to a certain level as a recon. Now that I remember.
Okay.
So you have to be like a level 2 recon in order to unlock DMRs. And then once you have the DMRs, you no longer have to stay as a recon.
Okay, maybe
just like how with an engineer, you have to be like a certain level engineer to unlock carbines.
Right. Maybe I just maybe honestly I wasn't looking very hard. I more wanted to get into the game, so I because it sucks how you really can't do much with the game in terms of loadout and whatnot until you're actually in the game. Correct?
Yeah.
I mean, and every time I'm in the game, I just want to play the game. I don't want to be sitting there fucking around with my loadout. You know, I like on the PC. Oh, it's probably different on the Xbox 360, but on the PC, you know, you start up Battlefield 4, and Battlefield 4 doesn't start up. It opens up Internet Explorer to the Origin website, and that's where that's where you pick your multiplayer game. When you pick your multiplayer game, then all of a sudden Battlefield 4 zooms up, you know, spins up. You go into Battlefield 4.
Stupidest.
I know, you go into Battlefield 4, now I'm like, okay, now I'm in this game, and let's say I have a boost running, so now that clock is ticking down, and I want to get in the game and get some kills and help my team. I don't want to be sitting, like, fucking around with my loadout. It's like, it's fucking bullshit. So the only thing you can do on the PC is that they have a special, like, mode called weapon tryout or weapon range.
The test range.
The test range, yeah. And that's like the place where you can go and mess with your loadouts and stuff. But it just sucks.
Not just your loadouts, and you can learn to use any vehicle imaginable.
Everything, yeah.
That's what I used this afternoon to learn how to fly a helicopter.
Yeah, everything, which is nice.
You can totally do loadouts on the in the battle log.
Can you? Because I was messing around.
Yeah, you
I
can.
did it in the beta.
Because I was messing around with that, but then it wasn't transferring over to when I opened up the game.
Did you save the loadout?
I don't.
Because I'm pretty sure you can fuck around with it, then you have to like confirm to save it. I think.
I don't know. Sue everybody. I don't know.
Confirm to save.
Maybe that was the
It's
problem.
an internet thing.
I was thinking that maybe it was because the servers were all fucked up the first couple of weeks. So
Possibly.
you know, but maybe I can do that. I'll mess around with it there. All right, we'll see. Anyway, so I was playing some Battlefield 4. That's pretty much like what I fucking played this week.
Yeah, I can feel you, man.
Stuff, you know.
In fact, I've pretty much come to the decision that I have to spend nothing but my entire time either A, working on videos for the rest of the year, or B, playing all these indie titles that are, or just various titles that aren't worth broadcasting anymore.
Right.
So I don't think I can broadcast much for the rest of the year.
You got a lot on your plate.
I've got a metric fuck ton.
Well, I mean, I was going to say there's not much coming out, but, you know, you have the new consoles and all that stuff. I mean, you're going to play that, of course, right?
Oh, no, yeah. I am batshit. I'm officially batshit hyped for Dead Rising 3 right now.
I saw you tweet about it. Did you not, sir?
Yes, I. You see that GIF that I posted?
I did not see the GIF you posted.
I opened it at work.
You really shouldn't have opened that at work.
Is it a bad thing? I want to see this GIF now.
I'm looking it
my
up now.
goodness.
I opened it up at work, saw what it was, and immediately closed it.
It was very wise of you.
I got it here.
I think it's probably a good rule of thumb never to open up anything someone from our group of friends sends you at work. Ever.
I was thinking, like, Chris is not going to post anything that's really... Oh my god, what the fuck is this?
Did you put it in the... Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's in
It's in
Skype.
Skype.
Okay,
I'll put it in
Let's
the
see.
chat as well.
Oh, look at that. That's... he's sort of wearing like a... Does he have testicles hanging out? What is that? What's hanging off of his...
Gas tanks.
You know what's going on here. If you could have told me this was a Saints Row GIF, and I would have believed you.
Yeah, no, that's why I saw it, and I was like, is this Saints Row? Or is this Dead Rising? Like, I know Dead Rising 2 was kind of goofy, but not to this degree.
They're going totally goofy on this. I think they took a page from Saints Row. I think they saw how popular it was, and figured, like you said, Dead Rising 2 was a little bit out there, but they really wanted to kind of beef it up somewhat. It looks pretty too.
Yeah, look at those flame
pretty.
graphics.
Look at the flames like coming out of his penile
Penis?
erection, his
Yeah.
penis, his penis.
His fertile loins.
There's all
are
these
aflame
flames
with passion.
coming out of his penis.
I love how his testicles are different colors.
Well, maybe one got bitten.
Possibly. Well, one's blue,
Oh, well, that makes
so
sense.
that's representative.
That
right
does
there.
make sense.
I mean,
This is a
there's
metaphor.
so much this game. It looks fantastic. There's a weapon in there. I don't know what it's called, but it's basically the combination of a megaphone and like 4 cones, like traffic cones. And do you remember the Force Unleashed and the force push you could do that would
yeah.
just send enemies flying?
Right.
It does that.
Oh, really?
It sends zombies and cars and everything just fucking flying.
That's gonna.
I remember that Simpsons episode.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. There's a weapon called Sentry Cat, and basically you combine a keg with LCD monitor, and the character builds this little robot that looks like a cat, and it's wind up. He puts it on the ground, winds it up, and with its spring legs, it'll just jump through waves of zombies and slash at them and kill them. And every single time it does, it goes. Ram!
See, I like those. I like those. So when does this come?
But no.
Oh,
Wait. So it'll do that like 4 or 5 times, and then it'll just jump away in a random direction and either disappear or explode. And the developers never know what's going to happen with that damn thing.
It's just a randomized.
It's
go
just
away.
fucking random. That is amazing.
This sounds like fun. So when is this coming out for the PS4?
It's not coming out for the PS4.
Son of a bitch.
Well, that's what happens when you have to choose sides in a console launch.
It's kind of ridiculous, but yeah, this is what happens. This is how the console wars tear people apart.
It's like a divorce.
It is like, okay, we're splitting up. So who's gonna get the Dead Rising 3? Who's gonna get the Killzone?
Who's going with mommy? Who's going with daddy?
Yeah. It's traumatic.
It's very traumatic because I want to play Titanfall and I do want to play Dead Rising 3, but there's things on the PS4 I want to play, and I want, but the system the PS4 system seems, that's where I'm going first of all, but it's painful. It is painful not playing some Titanfall, but you know what? I will get Titanfall on the PC, so I will be.
And that's just fine.
I will be doing that. If I can handle Battlefield 4, I can handle Titanfall on the.
Just gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, I guess we have some news to talk about. We might have a couple more things that we played this week. I don't, but I'm hoping Chris Davis or Bob doesn't either.
No guarantees.
I know, looking at Bob's face, I can tell he doesn't either. But what are we talking about? We got some news. I want to talk about the new consoles coming Friday. I'm very excited. You should be too. You're watching Cocktail Time live here at ForFlairNetwork.com.
broadcasting at? Just a
25.
resolution? Quick view. You should be able to see the resolution.
Everybody, welcome back to Cocktail Time Live, your 4-player network. Cocktail Time Live, the show you can watch every Sunday at 8 o'clock at 4pp.tv. If you're watching us at 4pp.tv, you are watching in the right place. That is our main website live page where you can find a schedule showing what games we'll be playing, what shows we'll be watching. You can get to our forums, join the community, access our other podcasts and all that kind of good stuff.
I think Chris has the same TV as I do.
Chris has the same TV that you do. It's very exciting.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
very
he has
exciting.
drink. He just came
He
back.
came back with a drink. He's got a drink. Look at him. Look at him just sitting down with his drink, chewing on something, being all sexy. I want to thank everybody who's watching us live over at 4PP tonight. 4pp.tv, I should say. Especially our subscribers. People like Biopower. People like DreadRed92. People like Spire Wrecker and Jordan808. Actually, it's Jordan D. Jordan D808. Who actually I've seen on Twitter. He got the last week's CTD from YouTube because, you know. And Vunik, yes, it is at 8 o'clock. Infamous Nolan, you're not a subscriber. You're a nobody. A nobody. Well, we do want to thank people for subscribing. You can do so on Twitch TV. It is $4.99 a month. For that, you can access our Dinner Time podcasts, our top 5 videos. You will get access to our video reviews first before anybody else. You also get to vote on what games we play that month. It's lots of fun. But we want to thank everybody who's watching. Even if you're not a subscriber, we do appreciate having you here for the show. And if you can, we ask that you do things like maybe share one of our YouTube clips that you might like, or maybe just subscribe to us on YouTube. All that kind of stuff kind of helps us keep what we do here at 4Player going. We're just the little people. Don't you want to help the little people? Help the little people. Look at Chris Davis. He's chewing on something. It's probably not expensive. He probably doesn't have a fancy meal there.
No.
He's like us, some of the little people. So help the little people.
He's munching on a real tasty bit of rice-a-roni meatballs.
He's a San Francisco treat.
Bought it for only 99 cents.
Rice-a-roni meatballs. For when you've given up.
No, the rice-a-roni meatballs, they were on layaway.
Layaway. I got my rice-a-roni meatballs on layaway.
I got get half now, get half next week.
I gotta make sure I pay them off before the expiration date.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sometimes feels like that.
it does. It really does. All right, so we have. Do we have any news? I mean, besides, like, everyone is just. It feels like everyone is just sitting there at their computers or in their living room, and their sphincter is clenched up very tightly, and their knuckles are white and their fists are bared, and they're just waiting for Friday to hit, and then waiting for the 22nd to hit when the new consoles become
They're
available.
finally out, and we can get on with our lives.
It seems like everyone's just in a holding pattern right now. To me, anyway.
Kind of is, unfortunately.
I think there's gonna be the the PS4 event is starting this week.
The
that right?
PS4 event. What is the PS4 event?
In New York, they invited a bunch of media to go to New York to get their hands on with the PS4 and games.
Well, the thing is that people have already gotten PS4s.
Yeah, and people have already gotten Xbox Ones as well.
Right.
The media?
Yes.
Both the media and just accidental retail
Right.
leaks.
I'm not
and
even
shit.
talking about leaks, but Francis, The big Francis guy, you know what I'm talking
Francis.
about? Francis.
Yeah. YouTube Francis.
World of Warcraft Francis.
Yep.
I don't get that guy.
Why don't you like Francis, Chris Davis?
Is it okay to not like somebody because they're too bitchy?
You're pretty bitchy too, though.
Well, you don't like the character he portrays.
I just don't like the character.
Yeah.
Granted, I've never seen the guy in real life. I've never seen him in the actual person, not the character.
He seems like
So-
a really nice guy, but I can
Yeah.
understand your distaste of the character. It's like who's that guy that does the really? He's very similar to. It's like a skinny, bald Francis. What's his name?
Because they're all. It's. Let me tell you guys something. It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
It's all the same shit on YouTube. It's either an angry British person or an angry fat person. And sometimes an angry fat British person. Or you're pretty and you're Swedish. That's it. Or you're just a girl.
Yeah.
But that's like, that's whatever.
Yeah, that being a girl that has prerequisites.
The secret to YouTube stardom is either being angry, British, or an idiot.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. You have to choose your. It's like the fucking end. Like we're getting back to this. Like the ending of Mass Effect 3. A young boy is like a young boy, and he gets beamed up to the starship YouTube, and he gets out on the rafters, and a little baby shows up, and he says, "You want YouTube stardom? Do you want YouTube stardom?" And the boy's like, "Yes, I do." And the baby's like, "Then choose one of your 3 paths to YouTube stardom. On the left, you are an angry British person. In the middle, you are an idiot." And on the right, so was it angry British and idiot? Was that it? What did I say? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
Angry.
I think angry British or have boobs.
No, that's just, I mean, I've seen like some females that try to just do the I'm a girl thing. And it's like a lot of times it's a flash in the pan.
No, I understand. I'm saying that the boobs go either way for both halves of the species.
Right. Yes.
So that applies
I
to the fat demographic.
Right. So you have to be British, angry, or an idiot. And that's your pathway to YouTube stardom. So, but there are some people I do like. I do like Jim Sterling stuff. Jim Sterling, like he wonderfully straddles between all 3, in a sense, while still be able to like say something meaningful and thought provoking,
Yeah.
which is kind of his forte. But it's sort of it is funny how it sort of still falls into one of those 3 categories. I mean, and it's sort of like even. Like, for instance, I know you like this, Chris, but it's the hot pepper gaming people.
Oh yeah, the hot pepper gaming. I love them.
I know, but it's just, no
it's
one.
a gimmick. That's what it is.
I know. That's the thing. Like, no one gets anywhere on YouTube just being thoughtful
Normal.
or normal.
Yeah, normal and poignant, or just having an informed opinion.
Right. You have to be just an idiot or British, I guess. It's just kind of funny. It's just kind of funny. It's one of those like it's interesting how comics, when you think about comics, right? And comics are able to strike that balance and strike that chord in a way that you can call them YouTubers haven't yet really nailed down yet. Like, you think of someone like George Carlin, right? And George Carlin was exceptionally poignant and thoughtful, but he never really was kind of he never really like went too far into idiot, and he certainly was angry. I'll give him that. He certainly had that check mark going for him, So, I don't know. What are you doing, Bob?
I found it.
What are you
I was
looking
talking
for?
about Keith Apicary.
Oh,
yeah,
Keith
Keith
Apicary.
Yeah,
Another
that's the guy I
character.
don't really understand.
You don't understand Keith Apicary?
The character of Keith Apicary.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's just I haven't seen very much. Sometimes I just watch the video of him dancing every once in a while. 'Cause it's a good video.
Yeah, he did a pretty good. The one thing I saw that I got a good laugh out of that he did was the roast of the angry video game nerd.
I haven't seen. I've seen a little bit of that roast, but not the whole thing.
The Keith Apicary part's kind of funny.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he does real commercials and stuff. He's an actual working actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I just knew he played that character and is banned from PAX because he took off his pants too many times.
He actually took out his pants on a panel, I think it was.
A Rooster Teeth panel.
Yeah, Rooster Teeth panel. But no, look up Keith Apicary, look up his real name, and then he's got a whole YouTube under his real name that has all of his acting work. So
Really?
yeah, he does commercials.
Nathan Barnett?
Yeah, Nathan something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he actually does real stuff. It's actually kind of interesting. It's total. I mean, they're all characters, but it's 100% like a total fabrication type of thing.
Yeah. But it's kind of weird.
Well,
that's one of the characters that just kind of was like, what? I don't really get it. Some of the stuff I liked, but some of it I'm not really into that kind of embarrassment humor.
Like The Office and stuff. You mean that uncomfortable?
I've only ever seen the British Office. I don't really watch modern TV, so I watched the British series. God, was it 2003 when I saw it?
Right.
Fucking 10 years ago? Jesus Christ, is that right? I'm old.
You're getting old, Bob.
We're all
Oh, fuck.
We're running out of time.
Yeah, a decade ago I watched it when I was living in Japan. And I really liked that series, but it was hard to watch. It was one of those shows where you had to pause it every 10 minutes and then just go walk away and do something else and then come back.
Yeah.
Because it's so brutal. I can't stand that kind of comedy. I can appreciate only so much of it.
Yeah, no, I understand.
It's really hard.
I know a lot of people who are. I know a lot of people who are kind of like that. They can only handle so much of that uncomfortable atmosphere, and they just need to, take it off. I don't, what were we talking about? Then we started screaming about YouTube, and I forgot what we were.
I don't know.
Talking about. We were talking about the new consoles coming through, and Chris Davis was happy.
Just the lack of news going on.
Oh, we were talking about Francis. We got into the Francis conversation.
Yeah, because how were we talking about Francis? Oh, because he had a PS4.
Oh, because he got a That's how we got there. Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, we're
you got to go back.
Back in. It's follow the narrative.
I got to go back into our parking spot here. So people.
Was it Chai Tai that made that work chart of our stream of thought?
I think Chai Tai made the Cocktail Time stream of consciousness flow chart.
Branching narratives, and it was just like, what the fuck?
It's pretty funny.
I think we need to hire this guy.
Yeah,
man.
we should.
Just to keep us in check.
But apparently Francis got married. That's depressing for me. Well, I'm glad he found happiness. How many more Rasputins do I have to get me through the rest of this night before I pass out? Let's keep them coming.
Rasputin, you understand what I'm talking about, right?
You understand me, Rasputin, right? Right.
You're the only one that knows what I'm talking about.
You're the only one that understands me. You and your elephant dick. That's somewhere in a jar in Germany. It's true. Rasputin's penis has been saved.
Penis?
His penis, yes. Rasputin's penis has been saved, and it's in a jar of formaldehyde. So I think in Russia or somewhere. This is the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Go to the YouTube
if you go
and look
to
up
Lenin's
Rasputin's
grave,
penis.
his body is there for everybody to see behind some glass.
That's right. That's true. But Rasputin's penis is, you can check it out.
So why do they have that?
Because it was legendary, Bob. It was legendary.
His penis was legendary?
Yes. He used to get around. He fucked everybody. Everyone. Like all the king's daughters and all the king's men. He was, he got around, said. But, so anyway, what we were saying was Francis actually, people have gotten PS4 review units. I guess he did an unboxing that's on the internet that I saw on the
Was it the one
Twitter.
that got taken down? No, that was an Xbox.
No, there was another one. That was an Xbox one. But I think he did an unboxing of the PS4. I haven't watched it yet, but it was on Twitter. So they are out there. So I'm kind of interested Why? Well, I guess they would have to do a review event because until you can download the day one patch on Friday, they don't work. That'd be very strange. Like, why would they need to do that? I mean, unless they're just manufactured that in order to ensure that the reviewers have a good, well-fed, well-drunken, massaged experience.
Yeah, there's going to be sliders.
Sliders, there'll be sliders.
Sliders are par for the course for any industry event.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea behind these industry events is to provide the journalists a controlled environment for which, if they have any problems at all, that can be addressed immediately by a developer.
Yeah.
And so, hopefully, in the opinions of the product maker, they'll get higher scores.
Plus, they want to they want to make sure they're fed and happy. It's a classic case of controlling the narrative. Which is understandable. This is I'm not sure how many people listening and how old they are and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not sure if they realize how big of an event this actually is. Like, this next 2 weeks or 3 weeks is can make or break a company or big sectors and big sections of a company.
Yeah.
For a long time. It's really exceptionally important that the narrative remains positive during these launches. I mean, everyone's going to throw their barbs. Companies will, josh on each other, somewhat friendly. They always do. Like, for instance, on E3 when, Xbox and Microsoft was having a kind of a hard time, and Sony just kept on pounding and pounding and pounding, all in kind of a good fun, and then released the day of the Sony. I'll never forget. I still watch this once a week because it's so hilarious. But the day of the Sony's E3 presentation, where they actually laid out their plan for the PS4, the fact that you could use used games and didn't require an online connection,
when they
would not
dropped the
authenticate. Yeah, and they dropped the mic. When they put out the little commercial that night on YouTube on the Sony's official thing of how you can share your games on PlayStation 4, and it was one guy just handing a game to another guy, and it was him going, thanks, and that was it. So classic, so classic. So there'll be that, but they need to avoid anything catastrophic. They need to avoid, sending out Xbox One units or PS4 units to reviewers and finding out there's a critical error afterward. And boom, they're done. So, I mean, this is these companies beginning to write the narrative that we will be living with for the next decade. And they're already saying, Microsoft has already come out and said that they expect the Xbox One to be a decade machine, a 10-year machine. And I'm sure PlayStation is probably going to follow suit with that to a degree.
Yeah. Sony said the same thing about the PS2 and the PS3. So
yeah. But it's exciting. It's been a lot of lead up. So
it's been fucking frustrating. That's what it is.
We've been expecting the next gen for 2 years.
3 years overdue.
Right. Yeah, 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's going to be, like I said, like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, it will be interesting to see how this next week goes. If people can get on, if the servers are dying and servers are crashing, which I kind of expected. It's so weird. I almost expect it. Like when Friday hits, I almost don't expect anyone to really get online to the PSN next weekend.
No, not especially with a minute launch.
I expect that to happen, but I will still be surprised. I will still go, how does that happen? Like Bob, maybe because you're the developer guy. How? I'll ask you. How does that happen? If you have an idea that you're going to be selling like 30 million units in 3 days, and these people are going to want to get online, is it just that, like with the site launch, like you don't really see the problems until you have a million people signing on at the same time, and that's when the bugs come out. Is that kind of what it is? And it's like it's something it's pretty much impossible to test for until you actually get it out in the field.
There are certainly there's scalability testing that you have to do in order to figure out whether you're going to be able to serve as many people as you think you can. Mm-hmm. I imagine usually that number's a lot lower than you imagine it is. Like, oh, we have a cluster of 100 servers, and they're going to be able to serve at least 100,000 consoles. That's 1,000 consoles per server. But you realize, well, shit, we have some problems with our network that we just changed the configuration 2 weeks ago. That's causing all these packets to be routed to only 50 of the servers, and the other 50 servers are sitting idle. That's a big issue, and these are just simple things that can happen on a launch. Right. And you could are there network configuration issues, or it could just be you were over or underestimated how much you could handle, and a lot of it could also be budgeting. You have the people that are running the servers and know they tested this shit and they know, all right, we tested each of our servers and we know that they can handle X number of machines. We need to cover launch at least 200-300 machines, and we need X amount of bandwidth. But then they go to the company, the managers, and say, we need this much, and the managers go, no, you're not going to get that much. Because we just spent all of our money launching this console. So you get half as much. And they're like, no, it's not going to work unless we get all of it. And there's, no, you're only going to get half. And they can't really do anything. It's just the bureaucracy. It's part of running a company.
Right.
There's not much you can do at that point. I'm sure there's people in the company that know, especially the people who are running a very recent example would be GTA Online. Where they knew that there was going to be these issues and scalability issues. I'm sure there's people that are engineers of the company that have been like, this is going to be a fucking mess when it launches. Because we know we're not going to be able to handle it with the service we got. Mm-hmm. Or they know that, we didn't do enough stress testing. I'm going to be surprised if it works.
Right.
So I'm sure there's people that know it's going to be a mess. Yeah. And, if it does end up being, a smooth launch, then that's going to be the thing that no one talks about. Unfortunately, because it works as expected.
Right.
So there's no news like bad news.
Yeah. It's gonna be a smooth launch, and then no one's gonna even say a fucking thing about it. But if it's a bad launch, you're gonna have every fucking site talking about it.
Right.
So it's just such a kind of tenuous situation where you just kind of either spend the money making sure that it's the best thing, it's actually capable of working, and you spend as much money as you can on that. But I'm sure they have tight budgets because they're launching a new product.
It'll be interesting to, as well, that first weekend, because Microsoft has always been hyping up the cloud and how we need more servers, we can just spin them up, no problem. Yeah. So we'll see if that cloud technology actually when the Xbox One comes out.
It can help. There's still they could, in theory, if they already have a really solid cloud infrastructure in place, that they could continue to spin up servers to manage incoming traffic. The problem is that there's a bottleneck. There's always going to be a bottleneck.
Right.
And whether that bottleneck is going to be big enough or not is the big issue. Because your cloud is usually... So imagine the cloud as a giant cluster of computers. Mm-hmm. They may be scattered across several different data
storage
centers across the country or across the world. And you may have... Maybe it's regional. You have a U.S. data center. You have a European data center. Because you can only tell the machine, hey, go talk to this host. You can have a list of hosts, but you're limited to saying, hey, when you connect to the internet, try to find this host or try to find these hosts in order of, if you can't find this one, go to the next one. And every console's going to be trying to do that.
Right.
So you kind of set yourself up for a denial of service attack that way. way.
I see. Yeah.
And that you need to have some point of contact for these machines to talk to, and be like, all right, you're going to go to this cluster. You're going to go to this cluster. You're going to go to this cluster. There's kind of a that is a load balancer, which is what you call them in networking terms, that would distribute the load between the different hosts that are going to be managing the services that's running the network. And the load balancers, if you don't have enough, or if you have too many trying to talk to one, it can fail, and then you can have what I've seen in the past is you have maybe 10 load balancers, but you have everybody, you give everybody the list of here's the 10 load balancers, try each one in order. So everybody tries the first one, kills it. Then they go, oh, the first one's dead. They all move to the second one, kills it. Oh, the second one's dead. They all move to the third one, kills it. They just go down the road, killing all these fucking load balancers. It's a problem. It's a real problem. Unless you think about these ahead of time, you're going to have fucking issues. So It's no wonder this shit doesn't work day one.
Yeah. There's
so many issues that can go on. It's a really complex infrastructure.
The best there's the two best outcomes for these companies, for Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah.
Is that either A, both launches go well, or B, both launches fail miraculously.
Yeah.
If one happens,
they'll probably all fail miraculously.
If one goes really well, doesn't, that's really bad for the one that doesn't. Because, like I said, like this first week is first impressions, initial impressions are so important. I mean, remember how, when the PlayStation 3 was announced as $600. I mean, that narrative killed the PlayStation 3 for months until they did the price drop. I mean, it was all about this thing is too goddamn expensive, and that's all really anyone talked about as the 360 gained traction and gained popularity and was selling units and stuff like that. So, if I'm worried about anybody with this release, it's Sony, because they have not really shown themselves to be exceptionally good at their online offering. So
definitely not with what they did for 7 fucking years.
No, I mean, I know you have to say that, of course, it was a free service and you get what you pay for, but it's, I pay for PSN now. The experience isn't much better. It's really not. I mean, it's better in the sense of you get a lot of free games. That's true. Their free game offering is really good. Their deals are really good.
But how free is it? You're paying for free games.
Yeah, you're paying
up
for free
up
games.
until now, it's a discount game service. That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
There's no building of infrastructure. It's not better in any sense of the tech.
Right. That's true. Yeah, and we also, I mean, this is for both of them, but we haven't seen the new dashboards yet, or what that's going to look like, or what the new profiles are going to be like, and I think we can pretty much guarantee that Microsoft stuff will be on the up and up and be very well done, because it's been very well done for years and years now. But
yeah, and they've been hyping the shit out of their 300,000 server farm.
Right, but Sony has not proven itself in terms of their online offering, or what my online avatar online appearance is like to other people. So Sony has a lot to prove there. But
I mean, when your service is hacked and you're forced to take it down for a goddamn month, that's not encouraging at all.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, that was a long time ago, though, right? Aren't we supposed to forgive them? Aren't we supposed to just make it
3
all?
years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
All water.
No, it was 3. It was 3.
All water under the bridge now. Perhaps.
It was 2010, right?
No, it was 2011.
It was 2011, because I think.
I'm pretty sure I did not live in the city when it happened. Tara, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't recall. I'm pretty sure I wrote the great PSN outage of 2011 many times, though, in blog posts. Things like that.
And it was an atrocious event.
Yeah. That was
2011? Jeez.
That's pretty bad. I know. Feels like it wasn't long ago. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited. It'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Let's just all cross our fingers we can actually fucking connect and download our mandatory updates so we can actually play our fucking consoles.
I think you should expect not to do that. I think it's better. I think it's better if you go into this just knowing that on the 22nd, Chris, because I know you're going for the Xbox One first. On the 22nd, you will get your brand new Xbox One. You will bring it home. You will set it up on your shelf lovingly. You'll put the wires in carefully, nicely, and you'll boot it up. And then you'll spend the next 2 to 3 days, looking at an error message.
2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years.
The
next 2 to 3 years, looking at an error message.
Better not be the case because I've got a fucking broadcast that night.
I don't. So wait, hold on. Wait a second. Can we announce this or something? So we're planning.
We're kind of talking about it. We've got a video coming on the way.
Okay.
That'll be going up in the next day or two, detailing our launch events.
Okay. What is the launch event? I don't even know what this is yet.
The basically what's going to happen. So Nick's getting a PS4, but he's not going to be able to stay up because he has work the next morning.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're all going to reconvene Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll do a PS4 launch night.
You know that the PS4 launch night will be us broadcasting an error message, right?
Well, I do. Don't quote me on this, but I believe I remember reading somewhere that you'll be able to download the update separately and put it on a USB drive and install it from there.
Really? See that? That's what we call forward thinking. So you could just go on the
Microsoft's doing the same thing.
That would be a good idea if that works. I mean, if that works, because you're gonna have a million people doing that as well.
The only catch with that, if I recall, is that you have to put the system in a safe mode in order to install the update via USB.
I'll tell you what, though, I like this. I liked the fact that we might in real time broadcast out. I think that's good. That's good streaming. That's what that is. Just to capture the disappointment, to capture the frustration in real time. I think you're doing something historical here.
I don't think it's actually that bad. I mean, we do it all the time with fucking game launches.
I'm not being sarcastic. I'm serious. I'm deadly serious. I actually hope that it's a horrible launch because I think it'll be better television.
Hoping for a disaster isn't exactly
I mean,
good.
Hours and hours of you just and Brad just screaming no, hitting X and watching a little loading thing spin
Bring
and
a bottle
spin.
of whiskey.
Yeah, a little loading thing spin and spin and spin, and then just to get an error screen with some arbitrary random number over and over again to the wee hours of the morning.
That won't be good for the site. I'm just saying.
I know. I think it would be. I think
No, I don't think it would.
What are you going to do? Play fucking Knack for 3 hours? Come on. Jesus
what
Christ.
doing.
It'll be better. It'll be better to watch the misery and frustration of the failure of one of these next generation consoles than watching Knack for an hour and a half or 2 hours.
No, you'll
however long you can stand it.
No, I disagree because the people that want to actually see the fucking system, they'll go looking for a stream that has it running.
No, that will be the beauty of it, though. No one will have it running. It'll be failing for everyone. Twitch TV will be a barren landscape of PlayStation 4 error messages. Every single the entire front page will be nothing but error messages. It'll be beautiful, don't you see? It'll be beautiful. It'll be like the never-ending story if the nothing had won.
It'll be the recreation of Error 37, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Because that launch didn't go well.
No, think
That's what happens when
we
you
can do,
make stupid decisions
we can
like
do
make
something,
a single-player game online.
something
Good job, Blizzard.
important here. I like this. I'm looking forward to this.
And if it actually works, we should actually manufacture a failure scenario.
We should. Bob, can you get working on that?
Yeah, I'll get some screenshots. We can just broadcast the screenshots.
We should. Yes. One of those reenact it.
Yeah, well, at least for launch night, I'll pull out my 360 and force Brad to play nothing but Call of Duty multiplayer online for hours.
No, but then you can like call Sony support live on the feed.
Live on the feed.
Yes. That'll be great. And then we can do a let's play.
Let's not play.
1 hour. Let's
play.
not play. It'll be an hour of just the error message. We can put it up to YouTube. Oh man. All right. Well, it's almost 10 o'clock. It's getting up there. Do we have any other news that we need to cover tonight that they want to talk about? Mr. Chris Davis, you keep up with these things.
Most of the news, it's been kind of light this week.
Right.
Because, everybody's saving up their stuff for the launches and getting that shit out of the way. There's a few things. PAX East 2014 is officially sold out. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, you're kind of fucked.
They're not going. Well, unless usually you can get them still through eBay and stuff.
Yeah.
To be honest. I mean,
And
one of the main reasons these things sell out is because people resell the tickets.
Yeah. Sony has announced that for the launch of the PS4 Thursday night, they're going to be doing a special live stream premieres and all that shit. And it's in cooperation with Spike, so it's going to be...
Wait a second. So Sony is doing a launch event with Spike?
Yeah.
My God. What if they can't get on either? They're feeling really good about this. I'm just saying, I think on Spike TV there'll be live error messages and no one connecting.
Honestly, I'm kind of worried about the PS4 right now.
Because
the HDCP is still going to be enabled at launch. It's not going to be fixed by the first patch. Mm-hmm. It's going to be turned off like in a later patch.
Hit the wrong button.
So that makes it kind of hard for people to stream.
Right.
You got to have like a breaker box or something.
Wait, you need a breaker box to?
Yeah, you need an HDCP stripper.
Okay.
And it depends on the tech for that. You got to kind of look into it.
But the Twitch TV, they have a Twitch TV app in the thing that you use.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to work launch night. That's not going to work.
I don't think anything's going to work launch night.
But you're not going to be able to do anything else. We're going to want to do HDMI capture.
Right.
So we're going to put webcams and watermarks in there and shit like that.
Yeah.
And that might be kind of tough, at least for a lot of people. I think we've got a way around it, at least for launch.
Right.
Anybody else with a PS4 that wants to stream it, that might be a little kind of hard.
Yeah.
And that's not available at launch. They still, we are a fucking week out, and Sony still refuses to detail how their game recording works. And they say it's 15 minutes worth of footage. Well, what's the fucking resolution? What's the frame rate?
The local stuff.
What are the constraints of this?
Yeah.
And they're not saying what it is. And we're 5 days from launch.
Well, there's a lot of applications and a lot of consoles that have been spoken about, but no one has really seen, and no one has tried. So,
yeah. At least in my opinion, Sony has been...
I'll tell you, I'm not sure if they've been less transparent, but they needed to be more transparent because of what we were just talking about, because of the fact that they have a lot more to prove in terms of this online stuff.
Yeah. For 7 years, they had a service that was barely number 2, if not number 3 in the industry.
Right.
So, but yeah. The only other story that would really just kind of blew people's socks off this week. So, Konami finally came out and started talking about Metal Gear Solid 5 a little bit more. There is a strong rumor going around that the Sony stream on Thursday is going to have like brand new footage of the Phantom Pain.
Oh, really? That'll be nice.
But they detailed how they're going to launch Ground Zeroes.
Oh, okay.
So Ground Zeroes, it's going to be sold both digital download and retail for current gen consoles for $20 for download, $30 for a retail package.
Okay.
And then it's going to launch digital download only for next gen consoles for $30.
Okay. And
But,
then following that is the full game for $60, presuming.
Yeah. And it's Ground Zeroes is like the prologue. It's basically like a paid for demo.
Right.
And that's going to launch in next spring.
Okay. Wow.
So my personal thinking is that this February Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 comes out. And that's the other like main title Konami's been fucking hyping like mad. So what I'm thinking they're going to do is they're going to pull a Zone of the Enders, and you'll be able to get a demo of the demo for Metal Gear Solid 5 if you buy a copy of Lords of Shadow 2.
So a demo of the demo for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yep.
A double demo.
A double demo.
That's about right, yeah.
That's very. The nothing says video games more than getting a demo of a demo.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
only when you
demos.
buy another game. So buy a $60 game, and we'll give you for free a demo of a demo. Video games.
It's the first 5 minutes of the demo.
First 5 minutes of the demo. Welcome to the land of video games.
So cinematic.
That's right, because that's true. Because
4.5 minutes of cinematics and 30 seconds of gameplay.
It is a Metal Gear Solid game. So.
Followed by a 2-minute trailer promoting Ground Zeroes.
Right. And a music video.
Starring Eminem.
Oh my God. Starring Eminem. That's true. Man. I mean, of course I'm excited about Metal Gear Solid, but...
completely forgot to mention it, but we didn't talk about Call of Duty this week.
But, I heard it's not very good.
Oh, it's in my opinion, it's kind of atrocious.
Yeah, so it
didn't actually sell.
I know the sell-through number was like 550 million or something like that, which is
yeah.
Still, I mean, we're saying it's only $550 million in one day. That's ridiculous. But I mean, reviews. I think I read the Polygon review, 6.5. The Destructoid Sterling's last 6.57.
He gave it a 5.5.
Oh, 5.5. Okay, 5.5 there. And basically, the reviewers are making the same complaints that many gamers have been giving for a while. Was that it's kind of just going through the motions. The last game actually did some cool stuff, actually, in terms of the branching narratives and the choices you make. I actually enjoyed that kind of stuff, and I wanted to see more of that.
Really cool.
The RTS aspects they put in there, which I thought were pretty cool. But this one just seems to, they said, just didn't really take any of those chances at all. And then I was surprised to see, after speaking to some people and seeing some videos about it, was that they took out like a lot of really great multiplayer stuff. Like they took out emblems. Like, why would you take out emblems? I mean, how else is a 13-year-old supposed to put a swastika on Xbox Live? I mean, you can't take out emblems.
Actually, emblems were only in the Treyarch games, so it wasn't in anything Infinity War made.
I see. Well, yeah, I guess not. But what's with the 12-man games? That's weird.
Well, it's kind of been that way.
No.
Yeah, it's been 6 players, and then Ground War was like 8 or 9 players.
No.
Yeah.
There were like 24 players in ground.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you probably did. I thought it was more than that. It's got to be more than 12 people in Ground War. Really?
No. Ground War is like 18 people.
Okay. I felt like it was more than that.
No. Regular
what
matches are like 6 players.
You know what it is? I've been playing too much 4. I'm like, oh, there's 300 people here.
You're playing 64-player matches.
I know. Yeah, it's kind of yet.
It's delicious.
It is delicious. But yeah, I mean, I Carlos actually texted me. He was so upset. Carlos texted me terrible, and he was so sad. He didn't know what to do with himself.
They've broken. Oh, this has just been a bad year for Carlos.
It has been.
Oh.
Colonial,
it's been a really bad year.
Colonial
And,
Marines.
now that Call of Duty has gone bad, I think we need to. I'm just saying. Aliens, Colonial Marines, Blue. He had a really bad experience with BioShock, and now his Call of Duty has failed him.
His Call of Duty.
He should.
All right. What didn't you like about it? Because you're another Call of Duty guy. Like, I want to know, for you, what was the greatest sin?
There were 2 really large sins. Number 1, the multiplayer. It is so amazingly easy to die. I mean, at least in the other Call of Duty games, you had a little bit of leeway when you start getting shot. You could maybe run for cover. But in this game, you don't even have time to see your jelly vision before you die.
Really?
Wow.
Like, not even jelly vision?
Yeah, you see like half a second of jelly vision, and then you're dead.
Oh my god, I can't believe that. So they made the TTK even faster, because it's always been really fast in Call of Duty anyway.
Yeah, it's even more. It's nuts.
So it's like hardcore mode.
It already. Oh god, I don't want to play hardcore. I'm terrified of hardcore at this point. They've got to rework their health system.
So it's the TTK's way. What else do we have?
And this is a transition title. This is the title that's supposed to look good on current consoles, but look fucking fantastic on the next gen. And it looks like a budget 2007 shooter.
Really?
The character models are atrocious. The facial animations alone, Black Ops 2 is like 10 times better.
Wow.
I mean, you got fidelity, you got, like fucking twitches of emotion you can see on characters in Black Ops 2. This is like, the mouth is moving, and maybe the eyes squint a little. That's about it.
Yeah.
This is just how far Infinity Ward has fallen.
Well, Infinity Ward is I mean, they're really a shell.
No more. It's gone.
They're a shell
dead.
of their former self. There's like 3 guys. I mean, I don't know numbers, of course,
when you load up this game and it shows you the list of studios that worked on it, it's Infinity Ward, it's Neversoft, and it's fucking Raven. 3 studios that should not be working on one title at all.
I usually find that the more studios that are involved with a game, the worse the game usually is.
Yep.
Unless it's like...
Right.
Oh, it's fucking... Oh, it looks terrible.
That's too bad.
That's in addition to just a bad story with a very, 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 very bad ending.
What about the astronauts shooting at each other? That seems cool.
Oh yeah, the astronauts. Oh, that was thrilling.
So I do hear that the extermination mode is actually fun.
Yeah, the extinction mode supposedly is pretty decent.
Extinction mode. It's basically like Left 4 Dead, but with aliens. Right?
It's basically Infinity Ward's version of the zombies from the Treyarch games.
Okay. Yeah.
And I haven't played it yet, but I've seen footage and it looks interesting. So I might give it a shot, but I'm not thrilled.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you think? I mean, of course, it sold, like I said, $550 million. worth of merchandise Thursday, so I can't. We can't say that this is going to be like the end of the series or will even affect it at all. I mean, I could imagine that it's just going to keep on, keeping on.
The best part of this game being so atrocious is the fact that it makes Titanfall look so much better, and it puts EA in such a grand, opportune moment. Right. This is their chance to say, hey, look at this. Battlefield 4 provides you a whole other team experience, which you can do so many things you can't do in Call of Duty.
Right.
And then look at Titanfall, a game from the creators of the Call of Duty series. That's like the next evolution of that franchise.
Well, and Titanfall is the game they've really wanted to make for many years now.
The game they've been wanting to do since Modern Warfare 1.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So. Oh well. All right. Anything else, or should we end this here? Do our final thoughts of the night, of the week.
Yeah, let's move on.
Cocktail Time Chaser.
I've got work in the morning.
All right. It is time for the Cocktail Time Chaser. Our final thoughts of the evening. I'll go first. I started off the show. Of course, my toast was to the last generation. My thoughts at the end of the show. Go forward. Zoom forward, I should even say, to the next generation. I'm really super excited. And it's not even just like a graphics thing or anything else, because we all know that the next generation has been here for a little while on PCs. We all know that. PC fanboys let us know that all the time. But, I mean, when a new generation comes out, it's really kind of a whole new thing. It's like I don't know, it's like the game industry history has doors, and every time like a console generation happens, you go through a door and go to the next section, and it's just exciting, It's just exciting to see, what it's going to bring us. But that's my final thought. I'm just excited. All right, Chris Davis.
I'm not excited to be forced to spend about $500 in like 2 weeks, but I am fucking excited for this shit to finally be over with. We'll finally have the consoles. You can finally stop reading about people bitching and moaning about fucking resolutions, pixel counts, anti-aliasing. Let's just fucking play the games. Let's have fun.
You could be spending about $100 less if you got a PS4. Just
oh, I'm sure I could.
All right.
My cat doesn't care, and that's what's most important.
All right, Bob.
I am definitely looking forward to fanboys shutting the fuck up. Seriously. Oh, God.
Amen.
I've been hearing so much shit over the past 2 weeks about this coming generation and about everything they know nothing about. Because they don't have the consoles to really know what the fuck they're talking about.
Bob, you should know that console fanboys can detect the difference between 720 revolution and 1080 revolution at a 50-yard pace.
Yes.
At 50 paces. But know it immediately.
It's so stupid. I'm gonna be glad to just not have that on my fucking news feed anymore because it's stupid bullshit. And I'm not gonna be spending any money on consoles because I have way too many purchases to make because I'm buying development tools.
You're buying licenses.
I need to buy a laptop.
Yeah.
I need to buy tickets, and I need to buy floor space and all this other bullshit for starting a fucking company and showing a game.
Microsoft has announced that Unity is not going to have any licensing fees for the
Xbox One.
Yeah.
I heard of that as well.
That's good.
Yeah, but you have to be part of their am I already a part of the development Microsoft program? I don't know. They have a license fee already for their development circle.
Yeah.
You might have to pay a license fee, or at least you used to have to pay a license fee in order to get on XBLIG, which I think is the same system they're porting into the new to the Xbox One. So
you should look into that because I thought I saw that it was license free. They're just kind of opening it up to everybody, but
yeah,
I'll double check.
Maybe I'll definitely look into it. But they previously had a fee. But normally with licenses for Unity, you have to pay an additional fee on top of what you already have in order to port to a specific console, like Android or iOS or something like that. So you have to pay an additional $100 or several $100 in order to be able to even compile for that platform. It's crazy. It's so expensive.
Well, we'll work it out. All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight and watching us here at Cocktail Time at 4playernetwork.com. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Chris Davis. And we will see you all next week, next Sunday, as per usual, 8 p.m. Pacific Time. Friday is the big day, the big day for all you Sony people out there. We'll be talking about that on Sunday, and we will know then if it's a giant, colossal mess.
Looking forward to it.